and welcome everyone to this week's video. We've been really busy, haven't we, over the past 2 weeks. We were trying to do a video every 10 days, but now it's gone to just over 2 weeks. Anyway, we're here now. So what I wanted to share first of all this week is we've been so busy with clients, but mainly we've been helping our daughter move in a new house. So while everyone was busy, she'd bought a flat pack TV unit, with drawers, and I volunteered myself to do the flat pack. Now I don't do flat packs. I've never build it up. I've never done it. So I put all the bits out on the floor, made sure they were all there, which was overwhelming enough. Then I looked at the instructions, which was even more overwhelming. Then it was only me in the room, and I looked at them, and it was just like, what is this manual saying? It's like gobbledygook, and all these bits, and then all the little screws and everything didn't have the numbers on to tell you what numbers. And I had my screwdriver manual. So anyway, just as my head was going to explode.
With the wrong head on it as well.
Just as my head was going to explode, what popped into my head was the scene from The Matrix where they say about bending the spoon and then realise there's no spoon to bend. So in all that headspace, I laughed and I thought, oh yeah, there's no unit here to put together. Anyway, with that, no.
You left it, walked out.
No, that's what the old Colette identity would have done, or would have tried to do it, made a mess of it and thrown it across the room. But I realised that I'm not that identity. I'm not any identity. I am before all identities. But in this case, I will choose an identity that's a master flat packer put
Not
together.
Not flat packer, builder upper.
Builder upper. Not flat packer.
Anyone can flat pack them.
Anyway, a very long, short story, long, short. Anyway, I started, what came to me with the wisdom was just go to page one, step one. Page one, step one was put A piece of wood together with B piece of wood. I can do that. Yeah, I can do. Did that. Step two, add a third piece of wood. Can do that. Anyway, in just a jiffy, boom, it was done. A whole TV unit I did on myself with drawers, with wheeler things on it and everything. Now, if you believe in time, that jiffy was 5 hours. But what I'm trying to point to is the old identity Colette would have said, I can't do this. I'm sorry, I've had a go. I've probably messed it up a bit and it's at the other side of the room. But in my wisdom, I thought, yeah, I can choose, and this is what we can. We can choose any identity, anything, because we're none of them. We are the awareness before all that, and we've got this wisdom that will just point you to which identity you need to do. And I saw with that, when I've talked before about the asthma story and how I didn't claim my asthma, but what I also saw that I did then, which I've seen recently, is I no longer chose the identity to be an asthmatic either. And I did that by like kind of default without really knowing what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. I was not claiming the illness, and I was also not being the identity of an asthmatic. I was being the identity of a healthy person. So what I'm pointing to people to look is, if things aren't going the way you want, what identity are you claiming to be? Because you can change it. Because you never were, never will be really that identity. But when you claim to be an identity, all these bridges of incidents get set up to kind of stand that up. Oh yeah, you are that identity. You can't put a set of drawers together. And then you claim, oh, I am the identity, you can do that. Then the evidence will support you on that. And then you become someone who can put a flat pack together quite easily, even with a rubbish screwdriver. I didn't take Mark's electric screwdriver either, but lesson learned.
So it's like, so you're the awareness, aware of the thoughts, and the thoughts aren't you. So you don't have to identify with any of them. But if you are going to identify with the thought, then might as well identify with the one that says that you can do stuff and and everything's okay, rather than identify with the thought that says, "Oh, you can't do this. It's rubbish."
Or you
can't do that. You're not clever enough to do that, or you're not the sort of
or you're unhealthy, or you're unfit, or you're overweight.
Yeah.
It's all identities you claim, and then you get the supporting evidence.
Yeah. So, because what I've seen is, you are, all you really are is the awareness, and then a thought arises in awareness, and what we think is that we identify as that thought being ours. So I have a thought and I think, oh, that's my thought. But what I've seen recently is that the more so is it's like water. And I think I read it in John Wheeler's book, and it really was like stuck with me. That there's a wave arises in the water, but a wave needs the water to be a wave, but water doesn't need a wave to be water.
No.
So a wave has to have water to be a wave.
Yeah.
And but the water can still be water. So it's like your thoughts arise up, not your thoughts, but thoughts arise up in awareness. It's part of awareness, but if awareness isn't aware of the thought can't exist.
Yeah.
So a thought needs awareness to exist, but awareness doesn't need a thought to exist. Because otherwise, if we were our thoughts, when we're not thinking, so you have a thought, then you have a bit of quietness, then you have another thought. If we were the thought, that thought was us, then when there's no thought, what would you do?
Yeah, where would
you
be?
Disappear?
Well, yeah, but we're not, are we?
And that would mean, so then when you go to sleep, would you die?
I know, yeah.
So
there's the proof.
Exactly. So the evidence. And thoughts, emotions, the body, the mind, they're all just arising in awareness. But awareness is aware of it, but they can't exist without awareness.
And you have that awareness.
Because I think I read somewhere that every 7 years your body's completely changed. So every cell has been used, so you're actually not the same body.
No.
So if you're not the same body, does that mean you would have? If you were the body, would you have vanished then? It doesn't, does it?
No, it
so the body that I was born with doesn't exist anymore, but I still exist.
Yeah, because you're the awareness.
So the body arises in awareness. Thoughts, feeling, emotions arise in awareness, but the one thing that's constant is the awareness. The awareness doesn't need the body to exist. It doesn't need the mind to exist. It doesn't need feelings and emotions to exist. But all they do, they need awareness to exist.
Exactly.
So that just shows that when people say the change and the changeless, is everything outside is changing, but the only thing that's constant is the awareness that never changes. That's who you really are. You are the awareness. It's never changing, and everything else is changing. So everything else needs awareness for it to change.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So everything is within awareness, but awareness doesn't need anything for awareness to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the whole world and the universe just disappeared, there'd still be awareness.
Yeah. And that's our video.
Yes,
anyway,
that's it.
So go away.
But just to say, but before you go, and that awareness is here. So to point to that awareness is to point to now, right in this moment, in this present moment. How do you know you're here? How do you know you exist? If you close your eyes and just think about that, how do you know you exist right now in this present moment, because there's an awareness of you existing, and that if you see that, which everyone sees it, that's it. That's all you have to do.
That's who you are.
That's who you are. The awareness.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go looking outside or looking anywhere
You won't find it
because you're in
there.
it. It's amazing
it.
that's the only thing you don't see, that you're it.
Yeah, and that's as easy as it is. But you can still play the game of being any identity you like. So with the knowing of you are that awareness, go and play, go and have fun. Be a specialist in DIY if you like I am now. But really, before that, I know I'm the awareness, and I can choose, and so can you, and so.
And we know that you can.
Okay, that's it for this week. Bye. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.